Hello everyone, Jeff Green here again with a market timing and market analysis for fiscal week 15, which starts on April 11th, 2022. So please like and subscribe if these videos are helpful. Sure would help me out a lot. So the Fed spooked the investors this week with a lot of hawkish sort of tones on inflation and what they need to do to battle this huge problem. Personally, I believe they really don't care about inflation because that has the end result of increasing your taxes over time. But that's an argument we can, or a discussion we can have. But as usual, earnings are the real market driver, and earnings season is just around the corner. So it's important to know when earnings are due on your stocks that you own. So keep track of that very important date. So in this market timing video, I'm going to go through our VTI on the weekly and the daily basis, which is the chart you see right in front. And then I'm going to go through the disparity between growth and value. It's important to know not only if the market is focusing on value or growth, and then you can sort of narrow down your stocks within those sectors or those strategies. But you can also separate them into further down sectors. So let's take a look at VTI here. VTI is the broad market index that I like to focus on. Let me get my scratching pen here. And you can see that we had this pretty big gap down midweek. And we made this top here right at this resistance line. This is the 50-day moving average, which is providing a little bit of support. And of course, we got this support line that comes right in here at around 223. The Chico line is coming down again. MACD is looking pretty dismal. The on-balance volume has broken down. And of course, this movement of the DI plus over the DI minus was short-lived. And now we have, of course, the DI minus above the DI plus. So all these are looking fairly bearish. On the weekly time scale on the left chart, of course, we've got this pretty big topping tail the week before, and then we've got this move down on not outstandingly increasing volume. So volume may not be a big concern here, but the biggest concern is the MACD is still below zero. We had this sort of 3-week rally here, but the MACD has never got above zero. And if you're a regular listener to my weekly analysis, you'll know that MACD below zero is typically a bearish indicator. I got unbalanced volume, looked like it was going to get better, but didn't. And then, of course, we never got the DI plus above the DI minus. So the weekly looks a little suspicious. The Chico line never really got above the current prices. And of course, if you're a follower of Ikimoku charts, you'll see this red cloud out here in the future is predicting more bearishness. You'd be surprised at how accurate that indicator can be. On the daily side, of course, we've got the green, but it's getting weaker. So all those in all, I think this support level here might be at risk. I think you need to watch this support level. If we get down below here, I think the next support level is down at 220, at least on the VTI. So for this week, I would be cautious in taking on new positions. I'd tighten up stops if you have profits, and be very careful. If you're a prudent trader, I'd probably stand aside. If you're aggressive, I think you ought to trade with a bias to the downside. So that's the VTI market analysis. Let's take a look at, let me erase these things here, and then we're going to take a look at, like I mentioned, the VTI, the growth and value ETFs. So on the left, you see the growth ETF. Now, growth stocks are typically things like NASDAQ stocks, things like the standby Teslas and all the things that are targeted to grow in the future. And you can see that the growth on the left, the growth portion of the stock market, get my drawing pen here, growth ETF, VUG versus VTV, which is the Vanguard Value Index. And you can see what's been happening here. Value has really not broken down at all. We're still trading in this channel here. Chico line is above prices, which is positive. MACD is above zero, which is positive. And let's see, the simple moving average of the on-balance volume is not too bad, but we really don't have a big move up here on the DI plus, although we can see a little bit of positive movement here. If you look at the growth, we're in what I would possibly call here a pretty severe downtrend on the weekly basis. We've got a down move on increasing volume. We've got the MACD below zero on growth versus above zero on value. The on-balance volume has not shown any strength, and again, the DI plus is above, DI minus is above DI plus. So you can see where the focus is in the stock market. It is not in growth at the current time, it's in value. So that's another way you can sort of separate the sort of stocks you focus on. If you want to get my recent stock list, you can access my web chart. But I hope this analysis helps you in this week's trading, and we'll talk to you again next week. Thank you.